Hey guys, how are you going? I am David from Tarot Avenue, and today I am going to be showing you how to do a stock take on your life using the tarot cards. Now, the beauty of this technique I'm showing you, you don't actually need to be a tarot reader. You can do it without tarot. This is a popular tool that is used by life coaches, but I just wanted to take it one step further and incorporate tarot. And tarot is my speciality, so that's what we're going to be doing. But as I say, you can do this on your own because it's all about, I feel like when the cards come into it, it's about releasing your intuition and just really, you don't have to know every card inside out. It's just really about getting a feel for what's there and letting that intuition speak to you and guide you along the way. So what we're going to be doing, we're looking at a tool called the Wheel of Life. As I say, this is a tool that is used by life coaches and just coaches in general. And it's really about looking at different aspects of your life and working out, really taking stock on where you are now, and then having a look at where you want to go with that, where you want to be. For instance, there's different categories. I've actually got a PDF download that you can have with this that shows you the different categories, but you can make up your own as well. So the one in the general wheel that I've got here that I will quickly show you. This is the download that you'll be able to print off. The general wheel, I've got family, career, money, relationship, friends, and health. But I've also got a blank version in there where you can put in your own things, and it can also be used for any area that you want to explore, actually, because it could even be for if you wanted to look at relationships. You want to look at the relationship with your boss. You want to look at relationship with your partner, with your friends. And it's all about looking at where they are now and thinking about where you want them to be within a certain time period. So for this example that I'm giving you here, I've put some numbers down. It is quite hypothetical, really, because I wanted to show a bit of variety and show what could be done with this. But I've really set a time limit over the next 3 to 6 months. So I've put where I am now for each category. So I've chosen to do the general wheel. And you will see I've put for family, I've put 7, and I've put my goal that I want to be 9. For career, 8, and I want to be 9. Down the bottom there is money, so that's 6 and 8. Relationship is 7 and 8. Friends is 6 and 7, and health is 6 and 8. So this is really about like over the next 3 to 6 months. So you want to be realistic in there, and you've got to be really honest with yourself about where things are. When you're thinking about family, really, I want you to come up with a number that comes to you quite quickly, but at the same time, I want you to, so you don't overthink it, but I do want you to take it seriously and think and be honest with yourself about where you are with that. Are things great in the family? Maybe they are. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't need improvement, and that's really good. Career. So I put down 8 there, and I want to be 9 because I'm really happy in my career at the moment. But I think there is room for improvement. So it's not just a case of, right, I want to be 9. I want you to start think about, well, what would 9 be for me? What would it look like? What would need to change? What am I trying to change here? And again, with that just being in that 3 to 6 months for me, that's why I'm not putting so for family I've got 7. That's why I'm not putting 10, because I think if I can get to 9 in 3 to 6 months, that's really good. That's a really good step forward, But you might want to aim for 10, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But I do urge you to be realistic as well. So the first step that you need to do, so you either draw a circle yourself, or you can go to the download, which I will put in the notes that will take you there. I'll link to the blog post where you can get that download. So either draw that circle yourself or print this off, and you can use it. And then I want you to list your categories, so whatever they might be. So I've got family, career, money, relationships, friends, and health. But you can put whatever is right for you at this time, whatever you want to explore. And then I want you to have a think about now. Have a think of a number between 1 and 10, 1 being the absolute worst and 10 being the absolute best, perfection. Have a think about where you are now, and jot those numbers down in there. And then have a think about, set your time limit, because it could be a year, it could be 2 years. There's no right or wrong with this. But for me, I want 3 to 6 months, because I want something actionable. I want to see the changes. I want to know what I can do to make that difference. So then have a think about what those goals are. Go around the circle, mark your goals in there. So you might want to pause this just whilst you do that. So go through, mark your goals. Now just have a look at the overall thing and just really take stock on where you are. You know, where are those numbers? Are most of them high or some of them off? What needs work? If anything, does anything need work? Maybe if everything's up at 8 or 9s, then the things are great. But you might want to use this just as more as a kind of gratitude tool, really, and thinking, well, yeah, things are actually really good. And it can even be used for that, just looking at, because you want to look at the lows and you want to look at what needs improvement, but you also do want to look at what is good and have a think about why that is good, and think about the steps that you took to get to that position. So once you've done that, I want you to, the next step for me is to really have a look at the tarot. So before you get to the tarot, I want you to, take your time on that step where it is really about thinking, well, if it is 7 and I want it to be 9. So let me just give you some examples of that. At the moment, I've put 7 for family. Now, my family are, I live in Australia, but my family are overseas in Scotland. And so I don't see them very often, So for me, that's why it's a 7. If I could see them more, that would definitely get it up a notch or two. And also, my parents are getting a bit older and have had a few health concerns as well. So that takes it down to that kind of 7 space, maybe 6, 7. But then I want to start thinking about, right, what would change? What would get that up to the 9 that I want it to be in the next 3 to 6 months? So it might be, I might be thinking about communication. Maybe I just need to talk to them more. Maybe I need to be kind of opening up, or maybe I need to be planning more trips to go back and see them more. Just see what we can do to improve that. So it's just about making the most of that relationship, really. If I get to, let me just jump through to friends. So I've put down there, and it is really hypothetical, I've put friends as 6, and the goal is 7. For that. So because I think let's take it one step at a time, and the reason it is 6, 2 of my best mates have just left Sydney and they are going, they're living overseas for a year, so that's left a big dent for me because they are my buddies, but I want to look at, so how can I move forward though, instead of just getting stuck, because with friends, I don't want to just be stuck in a 6 space. So how can I move forward in the next 3 to 6 months? What can I do? So it might be investing more time with my other friends that are here. So maybe I can maybe I would start to arrange dinners and go out and just see them more, spend more time, make sure that I'm keeping building those relationships. Or it might be maybe I start something new, go somewhere new, and aim to meet new friends as well. So that could be, it's whatever is really right for you at this stage. But it's important to start thinking about that, kind of visualizing how you can improve before we even get to the tarot part. So visualizing what steps you need to take, and more importantly, what is going to look like and what is going to feel like to get there. So the next stage for me is to look at the tarot. So I use the Rider-Waite deck, so I'll just give them a shuffle. And then what I want to do here is really have a look at, and this, so again, you can, if you're a tarot reader, you can choose however you want to do this. But But for me, this is just a simple one card for each section, and I just really want to look at like the action that I need to take to get to that, to make improvement. So if it's a case of the 7 getting to the 9, I'm asking the simple question: what action do I need to take to start moving in that direction? And I'm just going to do one card for each. But I have said in the blog post that goes along with this, you might want to then start to look at blockages. You know, you could develop a tarot spread. It depends how far you want to take this. You could develop a tarot spread for each different category. This is just like an overall general tool to get a feel for kind of where you're at or where your client is at if you're a tarot reader. But it is really about so you might want to look at the action, you might want to look at the obstacle, you might want to look at where you're headed, or you could even do like a full Celtic cross for each category. You know, there's no limit to this really, but for me, for the purpose of this, I'm just drawing one simple card for each, and this is like, what action do I need to take to move forward? So let me just deal them out in front of this, and I will go through it step by step, just so you've got a bit of an example and you can see how it works. All right, so let's have a little look at this. So first of all, I've got family. So for this, I had 7 and 9, but we have the 10 of cups there. So and it's reversed. So the 10 of cups for me is like that's a real like happy ending in the deck. And it's a real family card. It's interesting that that has come up in this position of family, because it is very much about the happy family and the happy ever after. That's what I always call it. Now, with it being reversed, that can show me that there are some issues there. It shows that, you know, some of we're not at the perfect 10. Some of the love is draining out there. But I think for when it's coming up in an action position, this is saying to me, this has to be an area of focus for me. When I see any card reversed, I always see it as potential. So I think there is the potential to get here. But when I see this, it's saying the potential is a bit off at the moment. So I'm taking from this that I need to be, and it's quite similar to actually what I said before I even dealt, but I think I need to be really open, really express myself with my family, and just try and work on building that relationship and just doing what I can to make sure that they're happy, and you know, that we can move forward. So it shows me, this card shows me that there is hope there, and there is a good foundation to build on, but I need to be careful to keep putting in the work to move forward with that. So, and then we get career, and again, very interesting that this came up, the King of Pentacles. So for career, I had 8 and the goal was 9. But the King of Pentacles for me is just about making wise decisions. It's saying to me, just need to take control in your career. The King of Pentacles is the boss. Pentacles are all about work, money, career, you know, it's very earthy things, but he is very much in control. So this is saying to me, I can absolutely get to that 9. When I would be looking at this, it would suggest to me I've even got the potential to get to the 10, but I have to believe in myself, and I have to take control, and I just have to take the lead, actually. So it's be the boss, it's be a good boss, take the lead in my own life, take the lead in my own career, and just plough forward. I get drawn to these bulls here as well, so it's just saying kind of plough forward with strength. So this is a good card for me. It looks like I've got a lot of potential there, which is good. When I look at money, so I've got 6 and I want to get to 8, we get the strength card reversed. Interesting one, strength card reversed for me is saying that there can be a bit of a lack of belief, a bit of lack of self-confidence. So I just think it's about believing that I can, well, a couple of things are coming up just as I draw this. There's one, I'm getting that I need to believe that I'm worthy of having money. So it's saying to me that there's one of those kind of attitude things with money. It's about changing your thinking, but it's just having self-belief that I can actually do it, that I can achieve, and I can make money through my strengths. So there's a bit of a lack of kind of a lack of belief there that I can really get to where I need to be. But this, for me, when I would see this, and when it's like 6 and 8, I would think about, right, what would 8 look like for me? What would I have in terms of money or wealth, or and what steps do I need to take? So it's just about, I think it's about visualizing, it's about putting it out to the universe and waiting for it to come in. But I need to do some work on myself first, just to be sure that I am worthy, or I feel worthy of it. So relationships, I've got 7 and 8. So the relationship comes up and I get the 9 of Wands. And when I look at this, it's like, oh, the 9, it's almost there, but it's like it's been a bit of a struggle. It would show me that there has been a little bit of a struggle there. But when I look at this person, there's wounds. He's looking to the past. He's got these barriers built around him, and there are wounds there, and so I think it would say to me, try and understand from my partner, try and understand what my partner's been through, be a bit more sympathetic to some of the hurt of the past, but also it could be deal with my own past as well. Like it's like looking back, but maybe I've put walls up, maybe I've got barriers up because some of the hurt that I've had through the past. So again, I would say communication, but with it being a 9, it's making me think things are going to be fine. And just funny that numerology is coming into it, because I've got 7, the goal is 8, but this would make for me, when I'm seeing this, it would actually make me want to change the goal to 9, because it's making me feel like I can get to 9, but the action I need to take is just really be open, talk about the past, acknowledge the past, acknowledge that there will be wounds from the past and some hurt, but just move on from it. Don't be too guarded, and get ready to move on. So that was that. Now we have friends. So this was the one 6 and 7. And this is an interesting one, because, I was saying my 2 best friends have gone off to live abroad. Interesting, this guy is there with his little globe in his hand. It's a 2. You can look into all these things in tarot, but I get a very clear action from this, that this is saying to me, just plan a trip. This card for me is all about planning, especially when it's this way up. It's about standing and planning and working out where you're going to go next. When it's this, I feel like, yep, it's time to, I don't know, I'm just getting through that. It's saying, just plan quickly, but it's saying plan a trip to go and see them. So Spain, here I come. So that's, I'm getting that that's quite a clear message, that I think there needs to be travel, but just in terms of friends, it's like when I was saying earlier about maybe, need to go out and meet new people and stuff. Like, this is somebody who is very, very much in his castle, looking out to the rest of the world. So maybe it is a case of I have to be careful to not shut myself off and just be kind of an outsider looking in or looking out at the rest of the world. So I need to find a bit of balance with that as well. But I'm going to take that as a trip to Spain for me. So there you go. Get ready, boys. I'm coming. And then we look at health. So I've got 6 and 8. So health is 6 at the moment. So I have had a couple of health issues actually, but nothing too serious. But then we want to get to 8. So this card for me is all about trying to do too much at once. It's like I'm trying to I need to just try and focus. I'm trying to, so it could be that I'm actually taking on too much. Maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe that's not helping with the health. But it feels to me as well like I need to work out in terms of health. Again, this is a card about finding focus, so it's about where I want to go. Which area of my health do I want to improve? Do I want to lose weight? Do I want to kind of have more energy? Like, it feels that I need to just start with one thing rather than trying to attack everything at once. So just start with one and then take each step as it comes. And I feel like everything will fall into place there. So for me, it's about finding focus, but also I think about finding focus in terms of not trying to do everything at the same time. as well. So there we go. So that was my reading kind of for myself there, and that was the general one. So the next steps that I would do in the PDF download as well, I'm going to have a little goal sheet. So what I want you to do is write your category, whatever that would be. I want you to write your action point for each of those. So, and you know, make it real kind of clear, actionable things that you can do. So again, you can do this even if you don't have tarot, that's fine. But for instance, under my family, I'll put communicate more, have a conversation, open up. Let's put 3 points for each, you know. 3 things that you're going to do over that set period, whether that be 3 to 6 months or a year, 2 years, however long. And then let's put what that goal is as well, just so we can get some focus on that. So for the family, let's put the goal that we end up in a closer place. Let's put the goal in my career that I am reaching my targets, reaching my targets at work. Make that my goal. And then the action points. So I need to, the action points for me there were about taking control. So it might be about having a conversation with my boss. It might be about me going in and really looking at how I'm planning my week and thinking, right, how am I going to do this? It might be about me having a conversation with my team and thinking, how can we come together as a team and work better? What can I do for you? You know, how can I help you grow and nurture as well? So I hope that all makes sense to you guys, and I hope you find this useful. It's been my pleasure. So if you need to find me, you will find me at tarotavenue.com. If you go to tarotavenue.com/blog, you will see the blog post on there. But as I say, I will put a link in at in the notes here, so that you can get that download as well. If you do have any questions, I'm always more than happy to answer. So please feel free to email me, just david@tarotavenue.com, and I will hope to see you guys very soon. All right, take care. See you. Bye.